What's going on, everybody? I want to welcome you back to Knicks Daily. My name is Sheer.
Knicks Daily Edition.
Listen, the New York Knicks are winning, and for the first time in a long time, we're not just winning, we're a feel-good underdog story, and we're a legitimate force in the Eastern Conference. Now, this should be a time of celebration, right? Especially for us Knicks fans who have endured decades of mismanagement, bad contracts, annual heartbreak. Yet rather than universal praise, a strange phenomenon has taken over. The louder the Knicks' success becomes, the louder the hate grows from fans, from media, and even other players. So what I want to talk about in this video is why is it trendy to hate on the New York Knicks, despite the fact that we're having a resurgence. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the Knicks hate in the media. I know that we have a huge market and the culture fuels all the negativity, and they're just hating. They're hating because we're passionate, we're vocal, sometimes we're over the top.
I'm sensitive about my shit.
You know, sometimes that could be our greatest strength, but the target for criticism as well. So I want to talk about all that because the Knicks right now are experiencing winning ways, and it's looking like it's going to be the status quo for years to come. But let's start out with being a laughing stock. Let's start there, where we used to be a punchline. For much of the 21st century, the New York Knicks have been a joke. And Knicks fans, we admit that. We weren't just a bad team. We were the bad team, okay? We were the gold standard of dysfunction. Every franchise has its low moments, but the Knicks' failures were particularly spectacular. From Isaiah Thomas's disastrous tenure as the executive to the overpriced free agent signings of washed-up superstars, the Knicks provided an endless stream of punchlines. We traded away draft picks that turned into franchise players. Hello, LaMarcus Aldridge, Joakim Noah. They handed out contracts to the likes of Eddie Curry and Jerome James. They let Linsanity walk for nothing. They chased LeBron James in 2010, only to end up with Amari Stoudemire. No shade, Amari, and his disintegrating knees. Even when they were good in 2012, 2013, it really felt like it was fleeting, and it felt like dysfunction was waiting to jump us around the corner. The media and the fans around the country, they got comfortable with that version of with the Knicks and constantly trying to embarrass us. National talk shows could always count on the Knicks to provide content for them. Losing made the Knicks easy to mock. And for non-Knicks fans, it started to get fun. It started to make them feel smart. But it's changing now. And now that the team is actually good, that deeply ingrained reflex to laugh at the New York Knicks, it hasn't gone away. Instead, it's mutated into something different called resentment. We know that our market means power. We know that they feel like they're in New York's shadow. New York has long been considered the basketball mecca. Madison Square Garden is widely regarded as the most famous arena in the world. I said it. But this history of prestige clashes with decades of mediocrity. And that contradiction fuels resentment. When a team is bad but gets disproportionate attention, people get annoyed. Knicks games were still national TV games during our losing seasons. ESPN still discussed our failures like it was a marquee franchise. And other fan bases, especially from smaller market teams like the Pacers, they hated that. It was just like, yo, that team hasn't been relevant since the 90s, but they still get so much attention. More attention than the Bucks and the Nuggets. The Bucks and the Nuggets had to beg for respect, even when they were winning. So now that the Knicks are actually winning, it's only made that resentment worse. It's one thing to hate the team when they're bad, but when the team starts to play great basketball, that's crazy.
Top 10, man.
Top 10, we going viral. You heard? Top 10, dead or alive, I swear to God. You already know the vibe. Come on.
That's when the floodgates start to open. The Knicks aren't just getting attention now. We actually deserve it. And that's a tough pill for many other fans and the media members to swallow. But you better swallow it.
Jesus Christ.
Pause. Paul George, for example. Paul George one time dismissed playing for us in New York, saying it was just cool for the media, not for the players. Other stars like KD danced around the idea of joining the Knicks for years, LeBron, and ultimately avoided that spotlight. They didn't want that smoke. And now the moment that we look like a real contender, the reaction from many of the stars that are coming up, is crazy. It was almost like they were being dismissive, the Steph Currys. And it didn't help that social media became the culture in this past generation. Social media has played a major role in making Knicks hate fashionable with the previous young wave. Fans are loud. We know that. We're on Twitter. If we win, we chant F. Trae Young in the playoff games. We celebrate sometimes success over the top in terms of our enthusiasm. And for decades, our passion was dismissed as being delusional. But now that we're actually winning, to back it up, now we seem obnoxious. So if you take any Knicks, they say we take any Knicks win and immediately, we're running a post of memes about it, that the league is in trouble, or that we'll take like Brunson's clips where he's cooking defenders and we'll put the caption Jordan who. They don't know it's all in fun with us, but they know we go hard, but it invites that reaction. Knicks haters don't even need real reasons anymore. They just know that dunking on the Knicks whenever they can, and us as fans, that's going to generate engagement. That's exactly the playbook that you see Draymond doing. Well, actually, here's the formula. The Knicks win a game. We as Knicks fans, we celebrate loudly. Then someone posts a tweet saying Knicks fans are unbearable. And then that's when the hate train follows. It's a simple formula that's been proven time and time again. This isn't unique to just the Knicks, though. It happens with the Lakers. It happens with Cowboy fans. They deal with similar treatment. But because the New York Knicks haven't won a title since 1973, the backlash comes with that venom. Okay? Now, as Knicks fans, we can be the best and worst part of the team. Okay? We as Knicks fans, we're the asset and the reason that people love to hate the Knicks. Okay? We've endured decades of suffering. Our passion is unmatched. With every win, it really does feel like heavy. And every loss feels like the world is ending. But let's keep it 100. We as Knicks fans, we could be a lot. They tried to gas us when we made the bing bong. Other fans tried to mock it, but others was trying to, do the same thing. We stormed into the streets in front of Madison Square Garden. We shut that mother flipper down after the first round win.
Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
Yeah, we did that. Okay, they said that we tried to celebrate like we won a chip. Okay? All of that. We think every free agent wants to come to the Knicks. We know that, okay? But we as Knicks fans, this is just part of the experience. To everyone else, though, it's fuel for hate. Other fans will tend to ask, why are you celebrating so much? You haven't won anything. And our response is usually, because we haven't won anything yet, let us have this. Well, mind your business. So this love and hate relationship that they have with Knicks fans is why that backlash tends to be stronger. When the team is bad, it was just sad. Now that we're winning, The reaction is more like, oh great, now we have to hear Knicks fans talk about how they're winning. That's right, mother flipper. Because you spent all those years talking about how we were losers. So right now the New York Knicks are starting to disrupt the NBA status quo. For years, the NBA has been dominated by super teams, player movement, market trends that made the Knicks look irrelevant. The idea that a team could build a contender without superstars forcing their way there seemed impossible until Leon Rose. The Knicks are now proving otherwise. Jalen Brunson wasn't a max contract player when he arrived, but now he looks like a top 5 point guard. We got Karl Anthony Towns by trading Julius Randle. Julius Randle at that time was an unwanted superstar, and he got flipped into Karl Anthony Towns. And Karl Anthony Towns is revealing himself to be a superstar in New York. And the NBA tried to teach us about team building all these years. We finally got it. So a team like the Knicks becoming good the right way, without tanking, without trading for a disgruntled superstar, without following the player empowerment blueprint, that is feeling disruptive to the NBA. NBA machine has trained fans to believe that titles are won in Miami, LA, or wherever a super team assembles. The New York Knicks threaten that belief. And when a team disrupts the norm, it gets pushed back. I keep telling people, it's not just the fans, the NBA don't want to see us win. That's why media members downplay our success so much. Why players hesitate to give us respect. And why fans cling to outdated jokes about the New York Knicks dysfunction, even when we prove them time and time again otherwise. But I got news for you all. The Knicks are winning. And the hate, although it's not stopping, we don't give up.
Aha! Aha!
At all. The Knicks are good. We might even be dominant. And that scares a lot of people. Media narratives, you gotta laugh at it. It's built over decades. They don't disappear overnight. Fans of other teams who are used to laughing at the Knicks, they're not ready to give up that comfort. Social media is going to thrive on negativity. But I'm telling you, we as Knicks fans, we gotta hold firm. We gotta let's give them something to talk about. Because the status quo doesn't know what to do with our squad now being more than competent. We have a homegrown team that's dominant. So the hate's going to continue. But here's the best part. We love that shit.
Pull up. You know I'll be at New York City.
Hate means relevance. Hate means fear. Hate means that the Knicks ain't no joke. Hate means we're a threat. And if the rest of the league doesn't like that, they better get used to it.
We circling the block.
We spin the block. Keep that in mind. Same thing applies to life that applies to the team. If there is no struggle, there's no progress. Remember this, whether it's out there in the real world, here in these YouTube streets, here at Knicks Deli, everybody eats. I'm your boy, Shea, and I'm out. Peace.